Good evening, everyone. Today, let us learn about the arteries of our leg. We will see the posterior part of the leg has which all arteries, and also we'll see the arteries of the sole of foot. So, let's begin. Here's the picture of arteries of the leg, the posterior view. And here's another picture of arteries of the sole of foot. Now, let's begin. First, we will talk about the arteries of the leg, the posterior view. The arteries of the leg. There are total 8 arteries of the posterior part of the leg. The popliteal artery along with the tibial nerve, the posterior tibial artery, the medial plantar artery and nerve, the lateral plantar artery and nerve, the fibular peroneal artery, perforating branch and communicating branch, the fibular peroneal artery, the fibular peroneal artery, and the anterior tibial artery. The posterior tibial artery is a continuation of the popliteal artery. Below the knee, it gives rise to the fibular peroneal artery, which courses deep to the flexor hallucis longus muscle. As the posterior tibial artery passes inferiorly to the medial malleus and enters the sole of the foot, here we can see the sole of the foot. It divides into medial and lateral plantar arteries. Which artery divides? The posterior tibial artery divides into medial and lateral plantar arteries. This is a viva question. Next, the tibial nerve accompanies the posterior tibial artery along most of its course. This is also another viva question. Remember, the tibial nerve accompanies the posterior tibial artery along most of its course. Now, let us see this part, the sixth labeling and the seventh labeling. This is the fibular peroneal artery, and this is the muscle, which is the flexor hallucis longus muscle. So what we learned just now, we saw that the fibular peroneal artery courses deep to this flexor hallucis muscle. This fibular peroneal artery courses deep to this flexor hallucis muscle. Next, let us learn about these arteries of the sole of our foot. So, let's begin. There are total 7 arteries in the sole of our foot. Plantar metatarsal arteries, deep plantar arterial arch and deep branches of lateral plantar nerve, lateral plantar artery and nerve, medial plantar artery and nerve, the superficial branches of medial plantar artery and nerve, the deep branches of medial plantar artery and nerve, and the proper plantar digital branches of superficial branch of medial plantar artery. Actually, these 7 points are the labellings in this front part. Let us look at that after this. The medial and lateral plantar arteries are the continuations of the posterior tibial artery. So, which is the posterior tibial artery? This one. This is the posterior tibial artery labeled as 1. Okay. The lateral plantar artery is much larger than the medial branch. Wait, now let us see the lateral plantar artery. See, it is shown in this. This one is the lateral plantar artery. So what we learned just now, the lateral plantar artery is much larger than the medial branch. It forms the major portion of the plantar arch. The lateral plantar artery forms major portion of the plantar arch, which anastomoses with other plantar branches and the dorsalis pedis artery. The plantar metatarsal arteries arise from this plantar arch and give rise to proper plantar digital branches. So, which are the plantar metatarsal arteries? Wait, we saw here. Where's the third? Yes, this is the lateral plantar artery, and this first number label. This is the plantar metatarsal arteries. Okay, this set of arteries are the plantar metatarsal arteries. Now let us see about the labellings from the first diagram, that is arteries of the leg posterior view. See, this first labelling here is the popliteal artery and along with the tibial nerve. Yellow is the nerve, red is the artery. So popliteal artery along with the tibial nerve. Then the second one, and what was it here? Wait. The second one here is the posterior tibial artery. This below where it branches is the posterior tibial artery. Where is the third one? Okay, it's here. This third one is the medial plantar artery. Let us focus it. This is the medial plantar artery. Can you see this third number? Yes. And this fourth one is the lateral plantar artery in arteries of the leg posterior view. And this eighth one is the anterior tibial artery. Other all 5th, 6th and 7th are the peroneal arteries along with the communicating branches of them. In 5th you can see the communicating branches of the peroneal artery. Yes. Okay. And 8th one is the anterior tibial artery. Then now let's look at the arteries of the sole of our foot. First one, what we had told that? Can you recall it? Yes, so first one is the plantar metatarsal arteries. And second one are the deep plantar arteries. The third one are the lateral plantar arteries. The fourth one are the medial plantar arteries. The fifth one are the fifth and sixth one are the deep and superficial branches of the medial plantar artery. Okay, this is the medial plantar artery. This is the deep and superficial part of this medial plantar artery, which is going above. Okay. So, and the final one is this seventh one is the proper plantar digital branch of this medial plantar artery. Okay, of the superior arch of medial plantar artery. So this was the figure for arteries of the sole of our foot. This first one are the plantar metatarsal arteries. Okay, and this was the figure for arteries of the leg posterior view. Which was this branching one? Can you recall it? The second number. The second number. Can you recall which was this branching artery? It was the posterior tibial artery. This one, the branching one. Okay. And which is this now? This is the tibial now, along with which artery? Popliteal artery. Okay. So that's all for today. Goodbye.